This news program is proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Now Biscuits.
Lady Emily Dadai reiterate on the importance of health. Fifth Special Parliamentary Committee hearing into the 2022 election in Port Mosby. And law and order issue to be prioritized in Simbu Province. A very good evening. This is Monday's news. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. The PNG Kidney Foundation was established in 2009 when the Kidney Dialysis Center was first set up. There were only 2 dialysis machines. Today, Ambassador of PNG Kidney Foundation, Lady Emily Dadai, paid her first visit to the center and reiterated on the importance of health.
The first kidney dialysis center in Papua New Guinea is located at Kennedy Estate in Port Mosby. One of the main objectives of this non-government organization is to create advocacy on the importance of kidneys to one's overall health. Sir Martin Poe, chairman of PNG KF, spoke about the establishment.
There, you can see that we are full of patients daily with 2 shifts here. We have 30 patients taking the space here. Our biggest achievement that is that we have substantial dialysis centers to look after the patients.
Sir Martin outlined the increasing number of patients living with kidney problems that have visited the center recently. Ambassador of PNG KF, Lady Emily Dadai, also elaborated on the importance of living a healthy lifestyle.
So it's my duty and obligation to promote health, especially our people should know how to live a healthy lifestyle. Not only that, but eat healthy so that their kidney should be healthy. We want to extend to other so that the benefits of the Kidney Foundation can reach out to the isolated area, especially to other provinces.
Sir Martin shared the same sentiment, reminding people to eat balanced meals to boost the immune system and keep fit.
Dialysis can make a patient, or kidney failure patient, to live a normal life if they take a proper diet, they follow the treatment process. You can do the dialysis in the morning, afternoon you come to the office and work as a normal patient. You can see just now some of them is still looking sick because they just admitted.
Sir Martin hopes that in the near future, and with the support of the government, the foundation will handle all dialysis services. In the meantime, the foundation is currently building a kidney medical center and a nursing training school in Port Mosby. Amanda Elaitia, National EMTV News.
The 5th Special Parliamentary Committee hearing into the 2022 National General Election was conducted today in Port Mosby. Present before the committee were key individuals from the National Intelligence Office and Electoral Commissioner Simon Sinai, who presented the reports on funds expenditure by the Electoral Commission during the 2022 National General Election.
The state needs to exercise its powers.
The Special Parliamentary Committee hearings into the 2022 National General Election returned to Port Mosby today as key members from the Office of National Intelligence spoke of the work they carried out during the election. The NIO Director General, Terence Frawley, spoke of the issues of funding and how they were incapacitated to carry out their roles. Mr. Frawley also revealed to the committee that if his office is to be successful, they would need the funds in advance.
Number 1, it was funding. And number 2, timing. Very, very critical. Entity also look at them, that's just another side. But there is a day coming, and the importance of this organization can do a big difference in the country.
In thanking the NIO members for the statements, the committee asked the office to furnish a report and moved to speak with the Electoral Commissioner Simon Sinai, who was recalled to present his funding report to the committee. The committee concluded that they would get an accountant to cross-check against the payment, with Chairman of the committee, Alan Bird, giving a rundown on the hearings which have already been conducted in the 3 other regions of the country.
We've gone to the provinces just to get a full hearing on what the issues are. We're very clear on what the issues are and what the priorities are going to be. Obviously, electoral role is quite critical, and issues to do with the funding cycle and all those kinds of things. So,
the chairman also revealed that he and his committee are looking at furnishing a final report when Parliament sits in August.
That's why we seem to be moving a bit quickly on this particular report, is that we want it endorsed by Parliament before the budget, so that things like electoral roll, we can start working on that next year. Obviously, our people are very disappointed at a lot of the deficiencies surrounding the elections, not least of all being the electoral roll. So we want to start working on that very quickly.
Governor Alan Bird hopes that this special parliamentary committee hearings can pave the way for the country to highlight the inconsistencies in the 2022 election so the nation can be better prepared for the national general elections in 2027. Rocky Iso, National EMTV News.
Petty crimes and other law and order issues in Simbu is something the province is looking to combat for the safety of its visitors into the province and its local residents. Kundiawa Police Station Superintendent Epenes Nili says law and order in the province is a priority area they are looking at to ensure law and order is maintained in the province. With the increase in petty crimes and other law and order issues in the country, Superintendent for Kundiawa, Epenes Nili, says combating law and order issues in the province requires a lot of support. He said it is their duty to ensure that men, women and children feel safe when they move around and that they should be able to move around freely and not feel unsafe.
It is my desire, it is my call to my men and women under my command that we have to police or enforce proactive policing. Prevention is better than cure. We must be present in all the districts. Therefore, whatever need there is in my command, I have spoken my mind through the summit this morning, and I believe that there will be assistance coming. So, all in all, the provincial administrator has just said that there will be a partnership with police and all of us for the good of the province.
A lot of petty crimes issues which are happening are caused by young youth that are roaming around the streets, finding means and ways to either make a living or are just opportunists who are unable to find jobs or rely on petty crimes.
So far, province, yes, we have. I can't say province is peaceful and we can stay as it is. We got drug, marijuana, homebrew, it's everywhere. So we'll have to rise up further. The police command in my capacity as PPC, I instructed that when I apply, you apply with me. When I walk, you walk with me. When I stand, you stand with me. That was my message to my men. It is not a time that we can relax. We have to make sure that services must be delivered to all the districts. And for the service to be delivered, law and order must be in place in all the districts. Police must be present in all the districts. Our presence speaks more louder. Even though we can't do much, our presence is what the people want. We must be with the people. We must sell police posts to the community.
He said in order to stop the level of crimes from increasing in the province is to provide more manpower and support the police may need to carry out their duties. Meanwhile, Superintendent Epenes Nili says let alone police manpower, transportation and other services are also needed to help the police conduct their duties in the province.
Of this province.
Police in Kundiawa are calling on the provincial government to assist with necessary support they require to carry out their day-to-day duties in the province. This is according to the Superintendent Epenesi Nili, who spoke at the recent Provincial Financial Performance Report Summit in Kundiawa.
There is really need for law and order policing in all the districts. I know I am down with manpower and the resources. But it's not only this province, it applies to all the provinces. But we cannot say I am down with manpower and we can relax. Whatever resource there is readily available with the assistance of a very active provincial administration and the governor under his leadership. You have supported us so far, and I believe much is coming my way for the policing of this province.
He said without this support, policemen and women won't be able to carry out their duties.
People, they desire service delivery. Well, for them to receive service delivery, law and order, and police must be there. We have a goal. Our commissioner, we emphasize more on partnership, community partnership. Police is not a Highland of its own. We work closer with communities for service delivery. Community assists us so that we fight against crime.
He said it is their duty to ensure that the safety of the people is provided, let alone both national and international tourists that may travel into the province and the region, especially when the entire Highlands region is connected via roads. Election Petition 10 of 22 by petitioner Ross Simo against member for UN Gulf and Minister for Community Development, Youth and Religion Jason Peter with second respondent. The Electoral Commission was heard in the Court of Disputed Returns this afternoon at the Wegani Courthouse.
This afternoon's election petition went into continuation of trial before Justice Lawrence Kangwia at the National Court. Witnesses of the respondent, Jason Peter, gave their statement before the Honorable Court. A total of 3 witnesses were called in to testify as per the court's directives. These were witnesses from West Taraka, particularly from the locations of Roosters ex-servicemen, Dragons Awagasi, and Drywara. The main issue was that the petitioner Seymour, on 3 grounds, claimed that there were ballot errors and omissions during the 2022 elections in the Huon Gulf. The other is claims of hijacking ballot papers and boundary issues. The matter has passed the pre-trial conference and continuation of trial started off today till Wednesday. Grace Papiali, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Simbu Provincial Government held a 2-day summit in Kundiawa where all 6 districts in the province had to deliver their physical and financial performance report. These reports are vital to see where the districts are in terms of development as well as planning in the upkeep of these districts. The summit saw various divisional heads, district administrators, and the provincial administrator John Punde, as well as the governor of the province Noah Cool, convened to discuss and receive these reports. Provincial Administrator John Punde highlighted that this was the first ever summit to be held and emphasized that this is the way forward if the province is to perform better, and also a start for district heads to come together and share ideas and work together.
Reporting, as we all know, is a key requirement. And everyone has been reporting from different levels. And as a province, we are required to also provide our provincial performance report. And it's also commenced the process of compiling, putting all these reports together. So after this summit, I believe all the different program managers, district administrators, going back And if you ask for reports, they will find it easy because they have already organized the reports in an orderly manner.
Simbu Governor Noah Cool reiterated the points outlined by the district administrator, saying that it is important that the provincial government is aware of its expenditure when it comes to sharing of the PSIP and DSIP funds.
Successive governments and provincial administration have delivered, but they have experienced challenges and reached their limitations. Therefore, under my leadership, I have my own vision and strategies on how best my public servants should assist my government to deliver basic service to the rural people. The initiative taken by the provincial administrator to host a summit for all sector managers to report on their progress and challenges faced in 2021 and 2022 financial year is the way forward.
Provincial Administrator John Punde says moving forward, the summit will become a yearly event and a way forward for the districts in the province to work together for the betterment of the province. The Governor for Southern Highlands Province, William Poi, gave a snapshot of several impact projects and the funding allocations for each of these projects for Mendi Town, which will help alleviate the standard of living and development of the province.
4 million for the completion of the Mendi Airport. That's the first one that has been paid. 3 million for the Mendi Courthouse completion. The money has been paid to the contractor. 5 million for Mendi Muruk Road's completion. That is work in progress, and I think it's almost complete. We've also paid 10 million to Oceanic to continue the Mendi Town Road upgrade. The ceiling work that has been ongoing. I'm asking the contractor to show cause as part of the provincial government's counterpart fund of 10 million that has now gone for the Mendi Town Road ceiling. And we've released 20 million for Mendi Manda, the actual land, 70 hectares land for the new hospital. Work on Vamit group of contractors from Europe will build, and they've told me to clear the land for the new hospital. So 20 million has been paid. They'll build a bridge, and they will also do the JTAG for the fiscal infrastructure to be cleared before we put the hospital, I think. And we've also released 9 million, first of the 9 million for the Mendi or Southern Highlands coffee factories.
As 300,000 coffee bags make their way up the Highlands Highway into Goroka each year, coffee farmers and buyers are calling on the responsible authorities to provide not only support in providing coffee storage facilities, but also look into subsidizing the logistics in the coffee industry. Every year, around 300,000 coffee bags are transported from Simbu to Goroka on the Highlands Highway. Transportation of these coffee bags have become an expensive exercise over the years, and they are asking for support to ensure that the coffee industry continues to grow in the country.
It's like when we one full container of coffee, full container, we are selling 240 bags. So 240 bags, we paid almost 1,000 kina. So government should look into it and help us also, because when the coffee season picks up, every day we send 2 containers of coffee. So it's like we are spending almost 2,000 to transport the coffee down to Goroka.
A buyer who is having difficulty storing her coffee bags says the government needs to build more coffee storage facility in the province.
Okay, the Minister for the Coffee must look into it. Price is the one big thing here. So he must look into the price to help us the buyers, so we help the people back in the rural areas. Coffee is the big commodity where it's supporting the people back in the local area. So Minister must look into it and help us.
Some of the coffee buyers we spoke to says having multiple coffee facilities in the province will greatly benefit the farmers.
Coffee price now some stop 7 kina, na 650, na 6 kina. So come down to 550 and 4 coffee. So now today I'm some price drop along 6 kina na 550 loss a day.
Coffee buyers and farmers are calling on the responsible minister and authorities to step in and help, as coffee is seen as a revenue-generating commodity that will help boost the country's economy. Coffee farmers and buyers in Simbu Province are calling on the Coffee Minister Joe Cooley to increase the price of coffee from its current price of 7 kina per kilo. Coffee farmers and buyers say that they were promised an increase in the coffee price. However, they are still waiting for the minister to action this. This is the daily scene. Standing along the roadside each day in Kundiawa town, coffee buyers are waiting for coffee growers to bring in their coffee bags to sell. Each coffee buyer can hold up to 50,000 kina cash, ready to purchase coffee bags that are transported from nearby villages and districts in Simbu Province, as well as from Mendi and Jiwaka. We spoke to a few coffee buyers on ground who highlighted that the stagnant price of coffee is affecting both the farmers and buyers.
Giving us a good price, So it's like they're giving us 7 kina. When we are buying 650, they must give us 7 kina. 7 kina or 750, then they help us. So we go and sell the coffee for 7 kina. We bring the money back and we help the growers again.
Na coffee em plan through em inside Chimbu. So money em come na imsa, he come na money em sa finish. Na all man meri all come lo remove area na botolin sa sim good na all go. Iko na im sila kain problem mi bla besim. Na bla kam lo sim tok sawe na all gara sila sani mi tok thank you. Na tu government tu em sa forward one bla good location bla mi bla ba stand up na lugar in Chimbu. No gat mi bla you ba logo mo sim bla ba vai lo kona na about na bla lugar mo Chimbu na sila. Em one bla problem mi bla gat but government em no look through.
Government need to look long coffee because mibla already all leave the coffee time price drop all farmers the place all lose coffee and then on clean coffee on improve coffee so and then by looking plant the one over rice up yeah. All man looking find an opportunity now. Waste no living God now. Plan the criminal come up. Plan the man all drown nothing, and then all no go all him ground now. All no go big long. House land long. All him ground long. Ration copy. So government need to look sana. Need to have him price.
One of the area they say they would like to see a change in is for the Coffee Minister Joe Cooley to assist coffee farmers and buyers in ensuring the price of coffee from 7 kina per kilo is re-looked at so they can at least make a bit of profit. The coffee buyers are hoping that the government can do all it can to support the million kina industry that can contribute immensely to the country's economy. And now looking at the Nest Fund market report, the kina closed unchanged at $0.2810 US in the interbank market. At Bank South Pacific, your kina was buying $0.2735 US, $0.3942 Australian dollars, $0.2423 euro, 38.41 Japanese yen. Looking at commodity prices at New York closed, gold is trading lower, coffee closed lower, cocoa closed lower, copra closed higher, palm oil closed higher, crude oil is trading higher, and copper closed higher. On the stock market, the Dow Jones closed lower, the ASX 200 is trading higher, and the All Ordinaries is trading higher. National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to National EMTV News. During the two-day summit held in Kundiawa, Provincial Administrator for Simbu Province, John Punde, upon receiving all financial reports from the 6 districts in the province, said the province needs capacity building in order to move forward. Mr. Punde said through capacity building, transparency and progress will be seen in all districts for a promising future.
And another big benefit out of this exercise is the sharing of the experiences from different sectors and districts. So there are success and there are failures and challenges. So it helps us to understand, also appreciate, and also we learn from each other.
He added that more work still needs to be done in all districts of Simbu Province.
Organize this performance report summit is the primary reason is to get everyone together into one room and able to present their achievement and challenges and what they do.
Also alluding to Mr. Punde was Provincial Education Advisor Kutna Bepwick, who added that through such summits, proper planning and monitoring mechanisms can be implemented to steer the province in the right direction.
Come together to share our experiences, our challenges, and discussing means and ways in which we are going to deliver services better. This summit has given us this opportunity to come together to share how we have been involved in different mechanisms, different strategies to deliver services to our people.
She said the provincial administrator now has a clear picture of how and what can be done now that the reports have been presented to both the governor and the administrator. The National Volunteer Services of PNG today welcomed its 19th batch of volunteers who will embark on a 3-week-long training at the Goli Barracks vicinity in Port Mosby. Present to witness the worthy cause was Governor for Central Province, Rufina Peter.
A total of 120 volunteers from 5 provinces in the southern region today gathered at the Goldie Barracks officers' mess with optimism of the weeks ahead of their training. Encouraging the volunteers was the National Volunteer Services Executive Director, Molly Willie, who also gave a highlight to the volunteers as what to expect in the coming weeks.
Throughout this PSO program too, you will have the opportunity to engage with experts in the different fields of agriculture, health, community development, and participate in interactive workshops and collaborate with fellow volunteers who share your dedication. You will learn valuable tools, techniques, and best practices that will enhance your abilities to address the challenges that lie ahead of us.
Similar sentiments on volunteerism was shared by the Madam Governor Rufina Peter, who encouraged the volunteers to have the passion to drive change as an individual.
As Governor of Central Province coming into this space, I believe in the important role that volunteerism plays in development. So I have been already looking and considering that how we can partner with National Volunteer Service to roll out provincial volunteer services.
This 19th batch is by far the largest number of volunteers the service has had compared to the last batch, which comprised of 60 participants. The National Volunteer Service currently has agents who had been serving the country in the remotest areas in the fields of education, agriculture and health. The primary mandate of NVS is to promote, encourage and instill the principles and values of volunteerism among skilled and professional Papua New Guineans. Another agenda of NVS is to provide an alternative service delivery mechanism for government through the placement of volunteers within communities and civil society organizations. Natasha Ovoy, National EMTV News.
Moving to overseas news now, and U.S. Secretary Antony Blinken has met with the Chinese Foreign Minister in Beijing. Secretary Blinken is the first U.S. Secretary to do so after 5 years.
The United States Secretary of State has wrapped up talks with the Chinese Foreign Minister in Beijing. The US Department has described the talks as candid, substantive and constructive, with both sides emphasising a strong desire for stable relations. Antony Blinken is the first US Secretary of State to visit China in 5 years, after postponing his February trip when a suspected Chinese spy balloon flew over US airspace.
A biotechnology company making needle-free vaccine patches is opening its headquarters in Brisbane.
Who was allegedly attacked on his early morning walk in Noosa over the weekend. The 87-year-old suffered severe facial injuries and died at the scene. A 27-year-old man is in custody and is assisting police with their inquiries. Police allege it was a random attack and the two men didn't know each other.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. With the bustle of the weekend, the East Coast Football Club 2023 School Soccer Carnival and Academy program kicked off its pre-season tournament at the Sejonggai Stadium in Port Mosby. Managing Director and President for the East Coast Football Club, Shannon Andrew, elaborated on the program.
Club President Andrew spoke on what the program is about and what it hopes to achieve.
This is basically a 2023 School Soccer Carnival and Academy program. This is our inaugural program. We've kind of looked into the development of kids that has been absent for so long, and we want to link that through to our pathway, through our youth academy program, and then our senior men's and women's team.
Affirming that the gathering was pre-season and that the program will kick-start in 3 weeks' time, he also made mention the components of the program.
This Carnival and Academy program consists of two components. The Carnival, which is the actual tournament, and then our talent identification camp with a under-12 selected side that we aim to take down to Australia in September this year. For us, it's basically about creating opportunities for the kids.
The 7 schools partnered for the program are Korobosea Primary, Gordon's International, Waigani Primary, Waigani Christian Academy, Kopkop College and Gerohu Primary, which will be competing in the under 10 and under 15 divisions. Supports for the program include TE PNG, CPL and Atlas Steel. Natasha Ovoy, Trukai Sports.
The Calgary basketball courts was reopened over the weekend and renamed to Muri Courts after Southside basketball great Moi Muri. Built at a cost of 300,000 kina, this is the second sporting venue that Mosby South MP has refurbished in his electorate.
Mosby South's ever-changing landscape added another dimension over the weekend with the new look Muri Courts, which was received with much delight. This modern court will allow residents to enjoy sporting activities like basketball and volleyball, and was built by local company New Guinea Engineering and Procurement Services Limited. In recognition to his commitment and efforts of his selected sport of basketball, the Calgary Courts was named after Moi Muri. At 66, Muri is still a giant of a man in basketball circles, an influential baller in the 1970s, and his impact has carried on into his family with his sons and daughters, all representing PNG. Mosby South MP Justin Chachenko said the Muri Courts will be a safe haven for the children of Calgary to meet for recreational games and activities. Rocky Iso, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. Moving to overseas sports now. Day 3 of the Ashes saw heavy rainfall as Australia took 2 wickets as England leads the series by 35 runs.
Australia took 2 wickets under heavy clouds and grey skies between those rain delays, adding another twist to an already intriguing game. England ended the stop-start day 3 on 2 for 28, so they lead by 35 runs. The series opener continues to twist and turn. Cam Green has taken another blinder in the gully. Australia, well, they lost 4 for 14. Their much-lauded tail failed to wag. Usman Khawaja only added 15 runs to his overnight score of 126 to be dismissed for 141. He leads all comers from a batting perspective in the test so far.
In netball, Australian Diamonds have announced their squad for the upcoming Netball World Cup in South Africa. Melbourne Vixen leaves Liz Watson set to lead the team for the first in the world.
Yeah, absolutely. I think it then enables us to really narrow our focus now as to what who we're working with and what that build's going to look like. But really happy with the variation and the versatility of our squad.
Yeah, I think a massive sign of the depth of Australian netball. Danelle Wallam and Kate Maloney are actually going to be reserves because Sophie Garvin comes in. She edged Wallam and Jamie Lee Price in the mid-courts as well. I mean, what a great reflection that is on the state of Australian netball.
Yeah, Suncourt Super Netball has certainly showcased our depth, and it's certainly caused a headache in terms of our selection, but it's a great headache to have. And I think generally the way in which the girls have really adapted a squad mentality. They drive performance when we're together, but they're also driving it when we're apart. So it's been a tough decision, but I think at this point in time we've got the right mix.
Now, I was reading, I think you go into camp 2 days after the grand final. What does that little patch look like before you head over to South Africa?
Yeah, for us, obviously, we've got to individualise the program just a little bit. Suncourt Super Netball is a ferocious competition, so we've got to refresh players mentally and physically, but we've also got to get the cohesion that we need out on court.
That ends Trukai Sports. The weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by MoniPlus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Mosby and Daru mostly fine and windy. Kerema mostly fine, partly cloudy. Alatau partly cloudy with a shower or two. Popondetta mostly fine. In the Momase region, Ley and Medang partly cloudy with a shower or two. Wewak and Vanimo cloudy with some showers. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau cloudy with frequent showers and thunderstorm. KVN, Kimbe, cloudy with occasional showers. Kokopo and Rabaul, cloudy periods with brief showers. Buka, partly cloudy with a shower or two. And in the Highlands region, all centres, cloudy periods with few showers, drizzles, then morning fog. Waters of southern PNG Indonesian border to Daru through Gulf of Papua to Hood Point to Samarai Island, seas 2 to 2.5 meters. Waters of Samarai Island to eastern and western Milne Bay Islands to Cape Vogel, seas 2 to 2.5 meters. Waters north of Cape Vogel to Ewan Gulf to Finschhafen, seas 1 to 2 meters. Waters of Finschhafen through Vitiers Dampier Straits to CRC, Long Island, seas 2 to 3.5 meters. Waters north of Long Island to Medang to Wewak to Vanimo and northern PNG Indonesian border, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of Manus and its western group of islands, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of New Island to East New Britain and Bougainville, seas 0.5 to 1.5 meters. Waters of West New Britain, seas 2 to 3 meters. Ocean forecast, Coral Sea sees moderate to southeast winds of 20 to 25 knots. Solomon Sea sees moderate to southeast winds of 20 to 25 knots. Bismarck Sea sees moderate to rough southeast winds of 20 to 30 knots. And Pacific Ocean sees smooth to slight northeast to southeast winds of 5 to 15 knots.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by MoneyPlus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Monday, the 19th of June, 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Bye for now.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Smart Start Breakfast Biscuits and Gold Nuggets.